Alright guys, here's my analysis for the Toronto-Milwaukee series for the Eastern Conference Finals. I do think Milwaukee's the better team. I do think Milwaukee will match up better with Golden State. I do think this line is way out of whack. For starters, I do believe matchup-wise, Toronto has a few matchup advantages which they can exploit. Now, I do believe this series is going to come down to coaching, because while I do believe there are a lot of advantages Toronto has, I do believe they will have to play a specific way. And to be matter of fact, I believe that they will have to change their style of play in order to exploit those matchups. But I do believe that if they do make the necessary adjustments, they will win the series. And when I'm getting plus 240, 250, I'm gonna bank on Nurse making the adjustments. Now, what I'm talking about is as follows. To start with, Milwaukee's the best defensive team in the league. They do that though. They don't like to double, and they are extremely athletic and long, and they are the best closeout team in the league. Now, because they are so fast and long, so they generally like to sink back, almost playing like a soft zone, and they rely on their length and athleticism to close in on shooters as quickly as possible. Now, because they don't like to double, there's going to be a couple of problems. To start with, I think Kawhi Leonard, the way he's playing right now, needs to be doubled. If you're going to play him one-on-one, the only one I think that can really hang with him one-on-one is Giannis. And if they do put Giannis on him one-on-one, A, he's going to tire him out. And B, he'll be in foul trouble, I guarantee it. And Giannis is so important to what the Milwaukee does on offense that I don't believe they can risk that. Now, if they do double and rely on their length and athleticism to just close out as Toronto tries to pass the ball around on the perimeter, you are going to be susceptible to the outside shots, especially from the bigs. Now, for example, I think Serge Ibaka will have a big series. I think he can defend Giannis. And he's not the greatest passer. And with the way Milwaukee is going to play defense, with how fast they are in their closeouts, passing is not the strength that you need in this series. I think Toronto's going to have to take a lot of early shots in the shot clock. For that reason alone, even though I think these are probably the two best defensive teams in the league, I can see a lot of these games trending over because I think Toronto's going to have to take a lot of fast shots. Now, what I mean by changing their tendencies is that a lot of their players, for instance, Marc Gasol, since he came over, has been hitting 46% from deep. He's a tremendous three-point shooter for a big man, and he's a great passer. Brook Lopez just rarely comes out in the perimeter. He's just so terrible. He never comes out on the perimeter defensively. He just basically sinks back in the paint and relies on his help to just do the closeouts for him. And the reason for this is simple. When he does come out, if he comes out on Marc Gasol, it's a pump fake, and he's either fouling or watching the opponent just drive right past him for an easy deuce. Now, Marc Gasol likes to swing the ball around a lot. He likes to pass up his open shots and get his teammates involved. He can't do that over here because Milwaukee is quick enough and athletic enough on the switches to lock down those shots, and then you end up in a late shot clock. Marc Gasol is going to have to shoot the ball early when he gets it. Serge Ibaka is going to have to shoot that ball early when he gets it. Danny Green's going to have to just touch and shoot. Lowry, touch and shoot. Unless it's Kawhi Leonard that you're trying to work Giannis into foul trouble. I think Toronto's going to have to shoot early and often to win the series. But I do believe they can. On the defensive end, Toronto's a tremendous defensive team. Since Gasol has come over, they are by far the best defensive team in the league against the pick and roll. And the pick and roll is so important to what Milwaukee does. And even when they don't run the true pick and roll, it's still Giannis trying to get to the hoop. Most of his scoring comes around the basket and he's kicking it out. Toronto has the personnel defensively to hang with the outside shooters, especially at home. And with Gasol there, it's tough to score in the paint with Marc Gasol anchoring the. I do think Philly's getting a bad rap. I was discussing in the chat that I believe Philadelphia is the only team in the league that if all their players went to free agency, I believe every one of them, with a possible exception of Redick, would get a max contract. I don't think any other team in the league can say that. They went up against a very talented team, and we watched Gasol just absolutely dominate Embiid. We watched defensively, they really shut down a very good offensive team. I don't know if the Bucks are that much better than Philadelphia offensively. They have better shooters, and they're a bit better defensively. They're a bit more athletic. But at plus 240, I got to give Toronto a look. All right, good luck. Let's cash.